Hey girls, hopping on here quick to talk about periods. So in this group, I'm always sharing a lot of recipes and things, watching what we eat and organic and non-GMO and things like that. But it goes a step further. It's not always just our food, it's the things we put in and on our bodies. So that goes to say we're going to talk about periods today. So, and I always get my inspiration from my own life. So that's what I got going on this week. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to talk about this because I don't hear this come up a lot. It is super important what you are using for your period, for your pads, your tampons, all that stuff. Which, if you would have told me that like years ago, I would have been like, that doesn't matter. Like, it's just, it's not like I'm eating it. But it's on your body, and some of the ingredients in some of these things are like ridiculous. So let's talk about that first. So what are some of the sketchy things in tampons and pads and things for periods that we don't want anywhere near our lady garden? So chlorine, that's a big one. What color are pads and tampons? They're white. They're bleached. So would you put chlorine up there? I don't think that's a good idea. So, because we know chlorine has a lot of bad effects. And actually, you guys, this goes like way back. I believe it was in the 50s. Someone shared this before. It was like an old newspaper like advertisement, and they were recommending that you douche with bleach. Can you imagine? Like, so that just goes to show that's why we always do our research and make our own choices. Just because something is approved or okayed, or even sometimes if your doctor says it, it's not always the way to go. You want to make the decision yourself, because years ago they thought that was just fine, and it's like, oh wait, now we find out that's really bad for you. So yeah, so anyway, and then so chlorine's a big ingredient. Plastic, dioxin, you guys, this one is huge. I didn't know a lot about this one until I was researching a little more, but this is a chemical that's a result of the chlorine process. It's carcinogenic, causes cancer. It's a carcinogenic toxin, and it's the other thing about it too is our body doesn't know how to get rid of it, so it stores in our fat cells. So literally it's just hanging out in there, wreaking havoc on our bodies. So that's another reason that I drink a lot of citrus oils in my waters, because water, because it's great at detoxifying your fat cells. So that's another reason, because we want to flush all that junk out. Synthetic fibers, so a lot of tampons are actually made with rayon. I did not know that. Fragrances, we've talked about this before in this group. Anything that has a fragrance, I mean lotion, soap, shampoos, all that stuff. Scented tampons, they're out there. That's still a thing. Fragrance is just a term for a bunch of chemicals put together. So that manufacturer, they don't even have to release what chemicals they use to make that scent, because it's a trade secret, so they don't have to share that. So who knows what that could be. So anything with fragrance, I always stay away from. For one, it's disgusting, because have you ever noticed that once you get away from using fragrances and then you walk down like the laundry aisle at the store and you like can't even breathe? It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I used that stinky stuff. So fragrance, really bad. So we don't want that up there either. Dyes, they're dyed to be white. Actually, they'll add different things to make them look extra. And I've even seen like colored ones, like pink and stuff. Like, no, thank you. And then non-organic cotton. So just like we eat, or we like to have organic food that's not sprayed with pesticides, you don't want cotton that's sprayed with pesticides and then put those pesticides on you, right? So, and a lot of these things, you guys, they're not just like chemicals are bad, but kind of to explain why they're bad. So we talked about the one that was carcinogenic. That's obviously really bad. But a lot of them are endocrine disruptors. So what is an endocrine disruptor? So your endocrine system is all your hormones. So your thyroid, your ovaries, your pituitary, all those things are communicating for your whole body for so many things. It's for your weight, for your sex drive, like so many different things it affects. And even like your thinning of hair, like all kinds of things, which I think if any of you struggle with thyroid issues, you know how much your thyroid can affect. So these things that are in our pads and tampons are causing harm to our hormones, which, does anyone know anyone with PCOS, endometriosis? Those are huge right now, you guys. So many women struggle with this. And you know what they're told? There's no answer. Well, if you ever have anyone tell you there's no answer to any health condition you have, you go on and you find someone else that is willing to help you and find an answer, because I guarantee they might not know the answer, but there is a way out there, because your body was created and is so amazing, and it can do amazing things when it's given the proper tools. So that being said, anyone struggling with things like that, getting rid of toxic things in your life and then watching how your body can heal is going to make a huge difference. So it's not always what can I add in to help my body. Sometimes it's like, let's take some of this out, let our body breathe a little bit, and flush some of that junk out and do what it was made to do. So, and it's crazy, you guys, people that struggle with things like this, after switching to like organic tampons and things like that, they actually saw some improvement in those conditions where their periods weren't so severe. So how mind-blowing is that if someone literally would just change their brand of tampon or pad and they could see their periods get better? Because nobody wants a crappy period. Like, that is not fun. Like, just to be like down for the count for 3 days, it's not fun. And I'll tell you my personal testimony, like period pain, and you shouldn't have that. So if you like know that your period's coming, you feel the cramps coming on, that's not normal. It's common, but it's not normal. So your body, I'll tell you my first, well, that's where I was going. Sorry. I don't have cramps anymore. I don't. Like, I used to like know when my period is coming. The only reason you should know your period is coming is you should see it. So when you go to the bathroom and you wipe and you see the blood, that's the only way you should know. So we shouldn't have these migraines coming along with our periods. We shouldn't have these horrible cramps and days where we want to lay in bed. That's not, you don't have to live that way. So getting a lot of these endocrine disruptors out is a huge thing. And there's different things that I did naturally with my hormones. If you want to know more about that, I would love to share that with you too. But today we're just talking about tampons and pads, and some other things, because there's the cups and different things. If you've used something else that we're not talking about, I'd love to hear more about that too, that makes your periods better. So, so your vagina down there, that is a very absorbent area of your body. So when you're sticking these things in and pads near that area, and same thing with babies and diapers, like that's important to watch what diapers you put on your babies. I like the Thrive Market diapers. They were cost effective, they worked great, and I knew they weren't bleached and had any of these things like we talked about. So same exact thing, because that's on their little private areas all day, every day. So the main thing you want to look for when you are buying a tampon or feminine products: chlorine free, organic. We don't want it to have any pesticides. And another thing, if you can find this too, is biodegradable is a great option for the planet, because think of how many, just like people talk about they're cutting out straws, think of how many tampon applicators, those plastic applicators, are just like out in the earth and they're never going to break down. So if you can find something, and I actually found this brand, it's called Nature Care. They're all biodegradable. They have a cardboard applicator that breaks down, and they're made with organic cotton, and I actually got these on Thrive Market. So that's another thing. Thrive Market isn't just food. Like, sometimes I find stuff like this. So diapers and feminine products are on there too. So if you guys don't have that yet, let me know, because I just had one of you guys reach out to me and got you 25% off. So that's a fun thing too for your first order. But yeah, so I found these, and they actually have pads in that brand. They have panty liners. So this is just one I found. There's a lot of them out there though, so just find it. It's becoming more of a thing. Like, we don't want garbage up our hoo-ha. We want clean organic cotton. That's all we want. Now, if you want to be even more earth friendly, and I've heard great things about these, and I've had this for a long time and I haven't tried it. Has anyone tried the Diva cup or any of the cups out there? I know there's different cups. It sounds bizarre, but you're supposed to be able to wear it for like all day, leak free, 12 hours at a time. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna have to maybe try this and give you guys a shout out on how it worked and everything. But yeah, I've had it for like months and I just haven't tried it because I always forget to give it a try. So now that we're talking about it, maybe I'll give it a try, and then that would save money in the long run too, because you wouldn't have to buy tampons and pads all the time. So I'm glad this is a girls group, so we can talk freely about our lady stuff. But yeah, that's my 2 cents for today about periods. And if you guys have any questions as you're watching the replay, or want to reach out to me one-on-one, I would love to chat. Like, yeah, ditch and switch is what I call it. Basically ditching the old stuff we used to use and switching to a better option. That's what it's all about, just taking one day at a time and finding a better option. So yeah, I am here to help you on your ditch and switch journey. That's what this group is all about. So better choices, and I'm just bringing you guys along with me as I learn along my way too. So 5 years ago, I was using, you know, whatever Tampax or whatever brands are out there, just like Walmart brand, whatever, and yeah, switching to these makes things a lot better and makes me feel better that I know that I'm using one less product that has chemicals. So that's a win for today. So all right, you guys, have a great rest of your day, and I will talk soon. We have book club coming up. I have to figure out, and if you guys have suggestions, let me know. I think I'm gonna pick like 4 books because I can't decide, and then we can all vote on it and see what we want to do book club for. I think we're gonna start mid-September. We'll let everybody get back in the groove of things and school starting and all that, and then we'll dive into it for the fall. So all right, guys, have a great day.